This video is for the deep trunk muscles. So we're going to be using your lab book, page 79, 80, and 81. So first, read over these pages where I talk about the deep muscles for 79. And what I want you to understand is these muscles are on both sides, even though they're not on this model. So here's that model. Her name is Pat. And we have the superficial muscles, so the pectoralis major is here, the rectus abdominis is here. So underneath the pectoralis major, we have the pectoralis minor over here. And the pectoralis minor sits on top of the ribs. So here's the pectoralis minor. It is on top of the ribs. Now, here on our ribs, that is between the ribs, so that is an intercostal muscle. Now, technically, I can see the external intercostal right here. So there's the external intercostal. That'd be sitting on top of what I drew in yellow. However, for your lab exam, I'm going to be nice. If it's on this outside part here, that's the external intercostal. This on the inside, that's the internal intercostal. And it's just, so again, the internal intercostal will be on the inside view, and the external intercostal will be right there. Now we also have the oblique muscles and the transverse abdominis. The rectus abdominis is superficial. The transverse oblique is the deepest. It's on the inside, and it's going in a transverse line. Don't get confused with the transverse thoracics, thoracic cavity, abdominis, abdominal cavity. So this moves in a transverse line all the way from the back to the linea alba. Then we have a second layer. It's green here, it's pink up there. That is the internal oblique. Then we have the external oblique. And these oblique muscles are actually on both sides. So right here, we have the muscles going from the iliac crest. They actually go up to the linea alba. And this is the internal oblique. Then on top of it, we have the external oblique going from the ribs to the pubic symphysis right there. And again, they're on both sides. So here is the internal oblique going from the iliac crest to the linea alba. And we have the external that will be going like so. And again, on this model, I can actually see here are the external obliques. Here are, intercostals. Here are the internal intercostals. I would show you the inside for internal. Now, there's one more muscle. The scalenes here got cut. So see this saw-like muscle? Let's try blue. This saw-like muscle right here. That is the serratus anterior, which implies there is a serratus posterior out there. And this wraps around and attaches to the scapula. And both the pectoralis minor and the serratus anterior stabilize the scapula. So we can see the pectoralis minor going to the coracoid process. The serratus anterior actually attaches to the medial border of the scapula, so it actually goes all the way around to the back. I'm going to send you to an outside website. And so I actually did these muscles for you. Go here, try to find the deep muscles. Again, mouse over. And I was mean and gave you the trapezius on the back there. So try to find them. And then what you're going to do is write the primary action on the table on 79 and 81. Fill in the muscles and label them on 80 and 81. So you'd fill in the actions of these muscles. Then you fill in, color these, you label them. And again, you're going to then repeat for the back muscles. So the back, this is showing both sides of the back. In reality, when you go to my webpage, you're only going to actually see half the back muscles. So I always look for these rhomboid shaped muscles because I like the rhombus shape. These are the rhomboid majors. Those are the rhomboid minors. You have this muscle running up and down, and notice I just call it the rectus spinaea group. I don't know which one that is on this model, and so I wouldn't expect you to be able to figure that out. And then crossing it, we have the serratus posterior inferior muscle. Remember, we have the serratus anterior right here. That's actually attached to the medial border. We have a serratus posterior. We actually have one up here as well, but we're not going to mention that. We also have our rotator cuff muscles. We have the teres minor hiding right there. We have the teres major here. We have the supra and infraspinatus. Those are all in the next part of the lap. Lastly, we have removed the trapezius. Right here, remember the trapezoid shaped muscle. And we can see the splenus capitis and the longissimus capitis. So those are neck muscles up here. And only one of those is on the study guide. I'm pretty sure it's the splenus capitis. So again, you're going to then go to my mouse over page and you're going to find the muscles. And it's my type numbers. On your actual lab book, I use their existing numbers. So this one's 100, so obviously it's not, but that is actually number 3, I think, in the actual model. So use my numbers. And I didn't do any proof making sure you went to the webpage this time. Please go and see it. That was the only model I actually created for you guys. Everything else I'm sending you to Dr. Carpenter's webpage. So please take a look at it. So that is this part. Thank you.